visualization, right? Okay, so pretend that didn't happen. Okay. So, Lumosity is trying to prove that we can actually stabilize that, kind of. Of course, it varies, but not quite much, and it's not going way down. So, scientists have already an understanding of these age-related trends. Lumosity scientists also wanted to know how cognition training could change an individual's lumosity performance despite predicted age generalization, which is, this is a generalization. There was a study of, imagine how many people. I know there is a conflict. If you look at lumosity online and do a research on their studies, some of the people kind of disagree with them because most of the studies are done with a very small number of participants. But actually this one is done with 140,000 participants. That's quite a big number of it. Of all ages, who played 4 different Lumosity games. The findings were presented in 2012, Cognitive Neuroscience Society Conference, and now I'm sharing this with you. For participants aged 16 to 20, the results from Memory Match and Memory Matrix were at their peak and stayed high throughout participants of 40 years of age, but falling gradually for adults over 40. The findings were shocking for users who played Lumosity games. They improved at all games in all ages. After 25 games of Memory Match, older adults were just as good as younger users in days-like performance. The difference between 74 years old who trained and a 16-year-old who didn't train in Lumosity games was only 70% difference, which is like a huge difference. This finding was a major break, and after the 2012 Cognitive Neuroscience Society Conference confirmed widely accepted beliefs about aging and suggests that age difference in performance on Lumosity games can be largely reduced through our training. So, do you understand what I know I kind of read it, but do you understand what I said? It's like 74-year-old person who trained in Lumosity games can perform as well as good as a 16-year-old who didn't train, which we all know, 16-year-old memory and, you know, and speed and everything else, its flexibility and problem solving, it's all pretty good. About the age of 16, 25, it's our peak. So imagine 74, after 40 kind of gradually goes down. That's the generalization from the neuroscience foundings. But 74-year-old person who trained in Lumosity, just playing 25 different games in Lumosity, can perform exactly the same as a 16-year-old who didn't. So that's quite a great finding. And let's come back to the participants. There weren't only 20, there weren't only 2,000, there were 140,000 people. So that's a quite great, fascinating study for me, I think. So,
all right. So now that you guys kind of know what Lumosity is about, we're gonna test you guys. So it might be a little bit crazy in here. We're gonna play a game called Word Bubbles. How it works is we're gonna write 4 letters on the board.
not quite.
Or 2. It starts with 2. Okay.
Can I? Okay, it's 3 rounds. It's very fast. So we have to really measure speed and flexibility and vocabulary, of course. So don't look at me. She's gonna write. Or she's gonna type on the computer. So what happens is there is a game in Lumosity that is called Word Bubble Rising. It's 3 rounds. The first round, it gives you 2 letters. The second round, it gives you 3 totally different letters. And the third round, it gives you 4 letters, which of course, after a few seconds, one of the letters falls off. Only on the second and third round. I hope I'm explaining this right.
So we ask that you guys just shout it out. I'll be typing, so I apologize if I don't get everything.
Yeah, so I know this is going to be a chaos, but I'm going to write the first round, first 2 letters, and you guys, whatever words you come up with the first 2 letters, she's going to type them out, and we're going to see what the class can really actually achieve in this 60-second game.
Obviously.